Alright guys, so we were in the midst of this morning recording the videos for we did Where Are They Now with Takeas Brown, Rashad Singleton, Mike Mercer, and we were getting ready to record another one. Well, now those videos are going to be a little outdated because I said nothing had changed with Georgia's basketball schedule. The University of Georgia Bulldogs basketball program just decided to take me by the head and smack me right in the head with announcements. Georgia's entire non-conference schedule, with the exception of maybe 2 to 3 games, is now officially out. And the reason I say 2 to 3 games is, well, I'll go through the games and you'll hear them. So November 3rd, Georgia will be opening up the season with Bellarmine. We talked about that yesterday. The Dogs and Knights have never played Bellarmine. It's was a Division II team. Division I a few years ago has the odd basketball where they play where they really don't dribble the ball. That's November 3rd. November 5th, Georgia will play University of Maryland East Shore. We talked about that a few days ago. November 9th, Georgia will take on Morehead State. November 14th, Georgia will take on Georgia Tech. November 17th, Georgia will take on Florida A&M. November 29th, Georgia will take on Tennessee Tech. November 18th, Georgia will take on Western Carolina. Well, we got to start over. November 29th, Georgia will take on Tennessee Tech. December 18th, Georgia will take on Western Carolina. December 22nd, Georgia will take on West Georgia. And December 29th, Georgia will take on Long Island. So some new faces in the Georgia basketball schedule landscape. Georgia has not played Bellarmine, Maryland East Shore, Morehead State, West Georgia, and Long Island before. These are teams that Georgia will be playing for either the first time or the first time in a very, very long time. Now you are wondering, let me say, well, there's a game missing. And that indeed there is. But real quick, we're going to read the article from GeorgiaDogs.com. And it says, and I quote, "The Georgia Bulldogs' quest to reach a second straight NCAA tournament will begin facing Bellarmine on Monday, November 3rd at Stegman Coliseum, the first day of the 2025-26 NCAA basketball schedule. The matchup against the Knights were announced along with Georgia's other non-conference home outings on Friday. The Bulldogs are currently projected as a 10 seed in the 2026 edition of March Madness and Joe Lunardi's May 20th bracketology from ESPN. The Bulldogs will begin with 5 consecutive home games after Bellarmine. The Bulldogs will host Maryland East Shore, Morehead State, Georgia Tech, Florida A&M. Georgia will then venture to Charleston, South Carolina to take part in the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic on Friday, November 21st and 23rd. The matchups have not been announced yet. The 4-team bracket also includes Clemson, West Virginia, and Xavier. To break from the article for a moment, if Georgia's going to play anybody, I really thought it was going to be Clemson. It might be West Virginia. We'll just wait and see what happens with that. Georgia's remaining 4 home games are against Tennessee Tech, November 29th, Western Carolina, December 18th, West Georgia on December 22nd, and Long Island, December 29th. The Georgia Bulldogs have been extremely successful at Stegman Coliseum during Mike White's 3 seasons at Georgia. Georgia is 41-13. That is a win percentage of 759 during that span. And they are 27-0 against non-conference opponents. Georgia is coming off its best. Okay, this is going to be the Bulldogs' 25-26 home schedule is expected to feature 18 games, including the matchup arch rival Georgia Tech and 9 SEC Knights. The renewal, the process for existing season ticket holders will begin in July, and the rest of that is just kind of season tickets. Season ticket. Promotion. So as I click it down here, yeah, wow, so that is a really, really great non-conference schedule. Again, the Shriners Classic in Charleston has yet to be announced. But very, very good. I mean, these are games Georgia should go absolutely undefeated in my personal opinion. Season opening game versus Bellarmine, Maryland East Shore, Morehead State, Georgia Tech, and maybe Western Carolina might be the only challenges in these games, if you want to be honest. But I mean, I believe Georgia will have absolutely no problem at all taking care of all of these teams. So then you also add the Florida State game and the SEC ACC Challenge, and then you add the 2 games in the Charleston Classic. This is pretty much the rest of Georgia's non-conference schedule. Very, very early release, might I add. I don't remember doing this. I do not remember doing this early in a very, very long time. But credit to Georgia. The Dogs got it out really, really quick for the public where we could look at it and see it. So I greatly appreciate that. I'm just making sure, it's checking a few other things, just making sure that there is no things I've missed. We're going to go check the D1 docket just one more time before we log off. And exactly right, that has not been updated. So yeah, very, very exciting non-conference schedule for Georgia. You know, I think that, as I mentioned this in a video a few days ago, Georgia is the last 3 seasons. Georgia has been very, very close to going undefeated in non-conference play. 2023-24, they only lost 3 games. Last year, we only lost 1 game to Marquette. Maybe this is the year Georgia goes undefeated in non-conference play. I mean, why not? I mean, this is a very lighter schedule than usual, and some people might say that's a bad thing. Well, I think that's a great thing, because yes, you're going to get tested by Georgia Tech, you're going to get tested by West Virginia, Clemson, Xavier, Florida State, maybe even just a little bit, but you want to play these games at the same time too. You need to prepare yourself for non-conference. I'll never forget in 2023-24 versus Mercer and North Florida, Georgia struggled for a little while. I mean, just last year too against Tennessee Tech. So it proves these games are not automatic wins. Georgia's going to have to work for these games. But if the Dogs play like Georgia basketball like they should, and do what I believe they'll do, Georgia should be just fine. Very great schedule for Georgia basketball, and it's just a home schedule. The other games will be announced. Florida State just got announced this week, but the Charleston Classic will be announced at some point. I mean, I would assume the next few days, maybe weeks. I don't think ESPN would keep putting that off. I don't understand why they would keep doing that, but a very, very solid non-conference schedule for Georgia. It's a great schedule, and I think the Dogs can go undefeated. I really do believe the Hoop Dogs will go undefeated with this non-conference schedule, which is great because, as we saw last year, we understand the struggles and the depth of the SEC. The SEC conference is not for the weak or faint of heart. It is a hard, challenging conference, and Georgia's non-conference schedule will get them exactly ready for those challenges in the SEC. I was just trying to make sure again that nothing. I feel like I've missed something for some reason, but hey, I guess not. Yeah, so I believe the Dogs are ready. The Dogs are ready for a 25-26 season. The Dogs are going to take the next step. The Dogs are going to break. The Georgia University of Georgia Bulldogs basketball team is going to take a step from being okay to good like they were last year, and they're going to break the house. They're going to break the door down of the SEC college basketball world. So once again, Georgia's basketball home non-conference schedule. It should be it should be the Charleston game should come out soon. But once again, Georgia's schedule: November 3rd versus Bellarmine, November 5th versus Maryland East Shore, November 9th versus Morehead State, November 14th versus Georgia Tech, November 17th versus Florida A&M, November 29th against Tennessee Tech, December 18th versus Western Carolina, December 22nd versus West Georgia, and December 29th versus Long Island. I believe they are Sharks. So we're out. We're back. We are back. Georgia basketball is back. John Bateman just said going to be another fun season at the Stag. Got some more schedule announcement coming soon. So stay tuned for the Charleston Classic games. Let me respond to this real quick. And yeah, so Georgia's basketball home schedule has been announced. It is a great time to be a Georgia Bulldogs basketball fan. Keep in touch. Follow UGA Basketball on X for the scheduling announcement for the Charleston Classic. Whenever that does come out, we'll get that information out as well. So that being said, Georgia's non-conference schedule is complete. Shout out Georgia getting this done quickly than it usually is. This is the quickest I think it's ever been put out like this. So go Hoop Dogs.